Hey everyone, glad you're here. Something pretty unexpected just happened. Millions of Social Security recipients got an official email from the SSA, and it wasn't your typical update. This one made a big, attention-grabbing claim that under President Trump's new One Big Beautiful Bill, most Americans will no longer pay federal taxes on their Social Security benefits. Sounds huge, right? If you saw that email, you might have thought, wait, can that really be true? Well, as with most things involving taxes and government policy, the truth is a bit more complicated. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly what changed, who's affected, and why there's so much confusion. Because getting this wrong could cost you money. And before we dive in, let me know in the comments. Did you get that email? Did it make you stop and think, is this legit? Because you're not alone. And hey, if you appreciate clear, no-spin explanations like this, go ahead and hit subscribe. It really helps. So what happened? On July 3rd, the Social Security Administration sent out a mass email celebrating what they called a historic step. The law, officially signed on July 4th by President Trump, was described as eliminating federal taxes on Social Security benefits for nearly 90% of seniors. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the twist. That 90% figure is technically correct, but also pretty misleading. The law doesn't repeal Social Security taxes. What it does is offer a temporary tax deduction that can reduce your overall taxable income. That deduction may reduce or even eliminate the taxes you pay on your Social Security benefits. For some people, here's how it works. Starting in 2025, seniors 65 and older can claim a $6,000 deduction if filing as an individual, $12,000 for joint filers. And this is key. It only applies if your adjusted gross income is under $75,000 for individuals, $150,000 for couples. Once you go beyond that, the deduction starts phasing out, and it's gone completely at $175K individuals and $250K couples. If you fall into that sweet spot income range, this new deduction might lower how much of your income gets taxed, including possibly wiping out any taxes on your Social Security benefits. But, and this is a big one, the core Social Security tax rules haven't changed. The IRS still uses the old thresholds from the 1980s, $25,000 for individuals, $32,000 for married couples, and those brackets have never been adjusted for inflation. So your benefits can still be taxed under those outdated limits. What the new law does is just cushion your total income a bit, which might shield some of your Social Security from taxes, but not across the board. So where's the 90% number coming from? It includes people who already weren't paying taxes on their benefits, plus the new group helped by this deduction. In reality, over 60% of seniors already didn't owe taxes. This bill bumps it up to about 88%. Most of the new winners are middle and upper middle income earners, not the lowest income seniors. And here's something else you should know. This deduction is temporary. It expires at the end of 2028. If Congress doesn't act, it disappears, and the old rules stay in place. Will this hurt Social Security's funding? Actually, yes, at least a little. A portion of Social Security's funding comes from taxing benefits. That rule was put in place back in 1983 to help keep the program solvent. Cutting those taxes, even temporarily, chips away at that revenue. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimates this bill could move the insolvency date for the trust fund from 2033 to 2032. That might sound minor, but when we're talking about a lifeline for millions, even 1 year matters. So why do it? Simple. Politics. President Trump has long promised to eliminate taxes on Social Security, tips, and overtime. This bill is a partial step in that direction. While it's not a full repeal, it sends a message. We're listening, we're trying. SSA Commissioner Frank Bisignano said the goal is to help retirees enjoy the retirement they've earned. And symbolically, that message lands. But not everyone's on board. Some former officials are saying this email felt more like campaign messaging than a neutral government update. It even had people wondering if it was a scam. And honestly, I don't blame them. It's rare for the SSA to send something this bold. Important note for younger recipients. If you're under 65, maybe receiving disability or survivor's benefits, this bill doesn't apply to you. No extra deduction. No tax break. So for many of the people who rely most on these benefits, nothing really changes. And here's another twist. Those with the lowest incomes often won't benefit either, because they already didn't pay taxes on their Social Security to begin with. So this bill really targets one group, middle-income seniors. Not poor, not rich, just the middle. So what should you do now? If you're over 65 and your AGI is under 75,150K if married, you'll likely benefit. Talk to a tax pro or visit a local tax center to confirm your eligibility. And keep an eye on your tax filing next year. This will be a new deduction to account for in 2025 through 2028. If you're under 65 or your income is above the cutoff, this bill likely won't affect you. Bottom line, yes, the SSA email was real. But no, this isn't a total tax-free miracle for Social Security. It's a limited time deduction that helps some, not all. And like a lot of things in politics, the headline is louder than the fine print. We'll definitely hear more about this, especially with the 2026 election cycle heating up and Social Security's future still uncertain. So stay alert, stay informed, and read beyond the headlines. If you've already looked into how this new law affects your taxes, drop your experience in the comments. Let's help each other out. And if you made it to the end, thank you. I work hard to make these updates clear, honest, and useful. If that's something you value, hit subscribe and stick around. More helpful info coming soon.